President Vladimir Putin framed the Russian invasion of Ukraine as a special mission to protect Russian speakers from genocide at the hands of neo-Nazis. In a speech broadcast minutes before the invasion began on February 24, Putin said, "We will seek to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine," ignoring the fact that the country's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, is Jewish. For the Kremlin, Exhibit A in this special mission is the far-right Azov Movement, part of the military and political landscape in Ukraine for nearly a decade. Members of the Azov Regiment and veterans march with torches to celebrate Defender of Ukraine Day in Kyiv on October 14, 2016. Azov's military and political wings formally separated in 2016 when the far-right National Corps Party was founded. The Azov Battalion had by then been integrated into the Ukrainian National Guard.An effective fighting force that's very much involved in the current conflict. The battalion has a history of neo-Nazi leanings, which have not been entirely extinguished by its integration into the Ukrainian military. In its heyday as an autonomous militia, the Azov Battalion was associated with white supremacists and neo-Nazi ideology and insignia. It was especially active in and around Mariupol in 2014 and 2015. After its integration into the Ukrainian National Guard, amid discussions in the US Congress about designating the Azov Movement a foreign terrorist organization, Ukraine's then Minister of Internal Affairs, Arsen Avakov, defended the unit. The shameful information campaign about the alleged spread of Nazi ideology among Azov members is a deliberate attempt to discredit the Azov unit and the National Guard of Ukraine, he told the online newspaper Ukrayinska Pravda in 2019. They tried to reveal what life was like under Russian occupation. Then they disappeared. The battalion still operates as a relatively autonomous entity. It has been prominent in defending Mariupol in recent weeks, and its resistance has been widely praised by members of the government. For Putin, who has falsely claimed Ukraine's government is run by drug addicts and neo-Nazis, Azov presents an obvious target. Moscow has given the regiment an outsized role in the conflict, routinely accusing it of human rights abuses. On March 7, Russia's ambassador to the United Nations blamed the Azov regiment for blocking an evacuation corridor in the besieged port city, saying they were using citizens as a human shield. That claim has been repeated consistently in Russian media. The same day, Azov Major Denis Prokopenko said in a video shared on the regiment's Twitter account that the attempts to organize a safe corridor for the relocation of civilian people failed because of several actions of the enemy, Russian forces, in the assembly area. After the bombing of a Mariupol theater that was sheltering civilians and had children written in Russian on the ground on either side of the building, the Russian Defense Ministry accused militants of the nationalist Azov Battalion of carrying out the attack. In the Russian disinformation playbook, the Azov movement is a tempting target, one where fact and disinformation can be elided. Kyiv citizens take part in military training for civilians conducted by Azov Regiment veterans on February 6, 2022. The existence of an identifiably Azov element within the Ukrainian armed forces, and an effective element at that, poses uncomfortable questions for the Ukrainian government and its Western allies, which continue to send arms to the country. In the not-too-distant past, Azov's leadership openly espoused white supremacist views and cultivated links with similarly minded groups and individuals in the West. In 2010, Andriy Beletsky, now leader of the National Corps, the Azov movement's political wing, reportedly said his goal was to lead the white traces of the world in the final crusade. In a statement, the Azov regiment said it appreciates and respects Andriy Beletsky as the regiment's founder and first commander, but we have nothing to do with his political activities in the National Corps Party, adding the former commander never made such comments. The statement said that Azov's motivation has always angered Russia. Therefore, disinformation attacks on the Azov regiment have not stopped since 2014.